Let's see, it's gonna take me a second.
Okay.
Agenda here.
So from a procedural point, you're gonna bring the commission or the committee up to speed on both the audit and a narrative on the audit and the RFP. And then the committee reports to the full commission. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay. And at some point, the full commission accepts the audit results.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we do the exit conference with, no, I will say when Rachel was here, I think it was just with the committee. She just had it with the committee. She didn't want to bring it to the full commission. So I procedurally, I believe that the statute says it should be the commission that
Right.
accepts the
Okay, so that's the case.
the audit. So we'll have a exit conference with the committee and then we'll have it brought to the commission.
Perfect.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Everyone. So I think I'll wait till Alex gets back, just to make sure we are.
Commissioner, you can go ahead.
going. Or
I'll just record it from here if that's okay.
Danae, can you hear me?
Yep, we are good to go,
Okay.
Commissioner.
She's talking, Commissioner. I can't hear her.
We can't hear you.
Okay, I'll
Alex
be
is
in a
the
second.
office. Oh, here she comes back.
All right. Sorry, Danae.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I think it's just a simple matter of changing out the mic.
Well, that was a heck of a rainstorm.
I know. Yes, it was.
Was it? Will you go?
Oh,
Say something.
well, about
In the Cogswell building,
Oh,
probably,
anything could happen in you.
probably around noon.
Yeah. Nope, not this that.
that's quite a downpour.
Yeah, no, my office is in the back of the big Soviet style building, so we don't know what happens in there.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, all right, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sorry about the technical difficulties. I'll leave it to it.
We ready to go?
Yep, we're good.
So I'm Sean Logan, Commissioner of the City of Helena, calling to order the City of Helena Audit Committee. Let's see, I guess how about for the purposes of role, we just go around the room and introduce ourselves and our positions.
I'm Ellen Harn and I was just hired as the accountant. I'm Barbara Walsh. I'm the treasurer controller.
Sheila Danielson, Finance Director.
Sean Logan, Helena City Commission.
Melinda Reed, Helena City Commission.
Tim Burton, City Manager.
Thank you for being here. And first up, we have updates from city staff. And the first item that you're going to update us on is fiscal year 2022 financial report and audit. So Ms. Danielson, please.
Yes, so thank you. We had finished our annual report and had wrapped up all of our audit questions with our current auditor, JCCS, and had that submitted to them by the end of February. It was 2 months late, but I will let the committee know that that was a significant improvement over the prior 2 years. Given that we were still staff and we didn't have, an accountant, and it was just ourselves trying to solely do that without that additional help. It was a big lift, and I was pretty happy that we got it out by the end of February. Unfortunately, there is a nationwide shortage of accountants, and our local CPA firms are not alone in that. And so they didn't have enough staff to jump right on to reviewing their report. And once they gained enough resources, they were able to review it and get back to us just within the last week. It would have been a couple of weeks earlier, but apparently their emails were being blocked in our system and I didn't realize it. Even when I was reaching out to them asking status, never getting a response because for some reason the server was blocking their emails. I reached out to our ITNS department and they indicated that it was some security that wasn't set up on the auditor side. So regardless, we finally got the information from them and we have responded and they were just a laundry list of formatting questions and just a couple of corrections that needed to be made. So I'm assuming that the audit is clean and they didn't have any findings, although we won't know that until they issue their letter. But I was pretty pleased that out of the list that they sent us, it was primarily just formatting and just a couple of numbers that needed to be edited and changed. Yes.
When do we anticipate the letter?
I am, as we speak, working on getting the revised report back to JC and says, and I'm hoping to have that to them today.
Okay.
I'm hoping they'll be able to turn it around within a week or two, and then we'll get the audit letter in that time frame.
Thank you.
Yeah, so they've been a great organization to work with, but just like everyone else, they have limited staffing resources and they're doing the best they can, just like the city. We do anticipate now that we have Ellen on board and we have since been able to reconcile our books and balance them every single month. We're all caught up on our cash recons. I can let Barb speak more to that. And so we're in pretty good shape of moving into this next audit and getting our reports done on time and the audit back in time to submit to the state. So we're feeling pretty good about that. Barb, do you want to expand on that?
Well, I think that was the delay the first couple of years is the cash recon is a lot more complicated than I've ever dealt with. And even Helen's been very surprised about it, but we developed processes over a period of time to finally just say, okay, this is exactly how we do it. You know, we're able to find our differences very fast now. So we've been able to keep it up. And fixed assets, we have someone dedicated to making sure that's pulled and put together by the middle of July. So I don't have a month of me trying to pull it together.
So any questions?
Mr. Berkey. I just want to compliment you guys. I think it was a heavy lift. Get from where we were to where we are. It's a good thing when you sit down and start talking budgets that you can find a cash balance and rely on those numbers. And I know that it was a heavy lift, so nice job.
Thank you.
So you may have answered this when you answered Commissioner Reed's question. When would you anticipate a meeting of the committee to review the results?
I am hoping to receive the audit letter back within the next week or two. And at that time, we'll be able to establish a meeting. I don't want to establish a meeting until I actually
Sure.
get that letter
But
back.
that would be in
Yeah.
a pretty near
Yes,
future.
yes,
Okay.
And that would, Mr. Chairman, that'd be with the accounting firm as well.
yes, yes, we would invite the accounting firm here to provide the exit conference.
Any other questions?
Nope.
On that item, is there any public comment on item? Actually, Ms. Danielson, did you have anything further
No, that's
Okay.
all I have on that topic.
on that, on this item A in our agenda on updates from city staff? Is there any public comment? And then,
Mr. Chair, I have no public comment online.
thank you, Madam Clerk. So the next item would be regular items. Under that part of the agenda is a request for proposal for audit services for fiscal years 2023 through 2025. Ms. Danielson.
Yes, thank you. And the city desires to go out for an RFP every 3 years for audit services. However, in the RFP, there is an option to extend the contract for an additional 2 years. I did request that JCCS extend the audit for 2 years before I sent out the RFP, and they declined to bid, claiming that they just didn't have the resources to do it. I think so. We ended up putting out the RFP. The timeline, it went out on April 10th. We did get some questions back from a couple of the respondents that we sent the information to answer them. They were more particularly interested in the scope, wanting to understand the scope of the audit. We answered those, and then the packets were due on May 1st, and we received 2 proposals, one from Mayor Dussel and one from Edie Bailey. At which time we as a team, Barbara and Ellen and I came together and scored the respondents based on the evaluation criteria in the RFP. So those scoring items are if the audit firm was independent from the city, meaning is there any conflict of interest? So there were no conflict of interests. Demonstrated understanding the work to be performed, technical experience of the independent auditor in conducting similar types of local government audits, qualifications of their staff to do the audit, and proposed audit fees. Out of those, one of the more heavily weighted items, because they all have weights, is the audit fees that are proposed. However, that's not, when you're looking for these types of services, that is not your primary consideration for selecting an auditor. You're selecting an auditor based on their qualifications, their independence, and their ability to do the job. In our opinion, when we went through the request for proposals, we found that both firms were equally able to do the commitment. They were both had outstanding references, and Ellen can speak to the references. Edie Bailey, they're both out of state, although Edie Bailey does have an office in Billings. But Edie Bailey is headquartered in both Denver, Colorado, and Fargo, but they do have a satellite office in Billings. They have over 275 government sector auditors only. They did recently get awarded the Bozeman audit, and they have done auditing for a couple of Montana school districts. They, like the other firm, is a full service audit firm. They're a member of GASB boards and other national, state, and local committees for government finance. They had great credentials, and their primary sector is the government, local governments. Mayor Dussel, they are located in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They have over 110 staff, with 50 of those with CPAs. The local government is their primary sector. They serve 56% government, 43% nonprofits, and only 1% profit firms with their organization. They too sit on many national, state, and local government finance committees. Their credentials are very impressive. They provide full services of audits. When we looked at both of them, it was unfortunate that we didn't get any respondents from Montana. We felt that would have been preferable. But even Edie Bailey will be doing most of the work out of their Fargo office that they indicated. So when we looked at the credentials of each, we felt that they were both very professional, very adequate, and their ability to do the job was equivalent. So when we scored our final scores, which I did provide in the packet, we looked at all of those things. We did knock down a few points for each because they weren't local here in Montana. We thought that might hinder some ability for them to come on site or, travel. However, credentials, independence, all of that, they all scored high. Where the big difference is in the scoring of the price that they both quoted. Edie Bailey is over 60,000 more in their quote for audit services, which we felt was pretty significant. One of the other things that we looked at in scoring is that Edie Bailey quoted a total of, and this is over a 3-year period, 1,581 hours. Whereas Mayor Dussel quoted 1,950 hours. When we looked into this, we looked at their RFP a little bit better, and I think that Mayor Dussel is trying to enter the Montana government sector or field. And they are on the Montana State approved auditors list. We only sent RFPs out to those that are on that list. So Montana State has approved them for Montana local government audits. I do believe that this would be their first Montana audit. So that we did score them down a little bit, wondering if they were familiar with statutes in Montana. But across the board, GASB standards are the same nationwide. GAP standards are nationwide the same. The only thing that they would need to bring themselves up to speed with would be the building audit, if it's still applicable, and our state filing requirements. So other than that, it's I believe an even playing field across the board. And I'm going to pass it to Barb if she has anything more to add on our review. If you'd like, I put you on the hot spot.
You did.
Yes.
No, I think like she was saying, they're both very qualified and, but to me, that big difference in the hour difference, it's worth going for Mayor Dussel.
And Ellen, you did reference checks
I
on
did.
Mayor Dussel.
I did. So I called the township of Upper St. Clair, the city of Pittsburgh, and the city of Lancaster, and each finance director I spoke with had nothing but great things to say about them. They've engaged them for many, many years. One finance director in particular had worked with Mayor Dussel in one municipality and then engaged them in the municipality he's in now. They said that on the East Coast, the people who are looking for auditors at this point, especially the governmental auditors, these are the most sought out firm, and that people are trying to engage them. So they said that they do a fantastic job. They said the remote work, they could, one city in particular went 100% remote with them, so they don't even need to have them on site. They're so well organized. They respond quickly. They're great advisors. So that was a great thing to hear from all three of them.
Can I ask a quick
Yes.
question?
Mhm.
It probably is in the packet and I did not pick up on it, but price of the Mayor Dussel versus price of our current audit, is it comparable?
Commissioner Reed, no, audit prices have gone up about, I would say, between the low bid and our prior bid about 30,000. Is that about right, Helen? Or is that too high?
Well, I would think more 20,000,
Okay.
but part of that was because we did have to pay closer up to it because of these delays that in prior years.
Yeah. So, but regardless, audit costs, I expected them to go up.
Mr. Burton, any questions?
No questions, Commissioner.
The only question I would have, I guess, at this point, I mean, your summary seems pretty clear, and your presentation, as well as to a staff more or less recommendation. What action do you need from us?
I just wanted to bring it to you.
Or do
We are, yeah, we do. I and Barb and Ellen are recommending Mayor Dussel primarily. The only difference between the two was the cost savings to the city. And we wanted to make sure that that was brought to you and you agreed with our conclusion.
Correct. Correct. So I think procedurally, commissioners, that if you agree with the recommendation, then that would move forward to the full commission's recommendation to approve
The
the
contract.
RFP, the contract. And likewise, if you, after you meet with the auditor and conclude that that's an accurate representation of our books, you'd recommend to the commission that they accept the final audit report as well.
Yes.
So procedurally, we need a motion from this committee,
Correct.
and I would entertain such.
I would move to accept the recommendation from Mayor Dussel, for the RFP, for the audit for 23-25.
A second.
So I'm not on the committee.
Okay,
That would be,
well, if that's possible, can I share second?
I think we have to do it that way.
Okay.
It'd be-
All right, so I would second that motion and, so. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign, not happening, so. Mayor Dussel is, going to be our recommendation moving out of this. Out of our committee here, so thank you. Anything else to add on that?
I do have one question, so, I do have. On the timeline that we provided that by May 12th, I would let the firm know whether they were recommended for services or not. And then, but the agreement then wouldn't be finalized until June 12th. So I will move forward with letting both firms know the results of our recommendation. And then once we get that, then we'll move into the preparing the contract and then having the commission bring it to the commission for final recommendation and start working with them in June.
Great.
My apologies, forgot to take public comment on that agenda items prior to taking action. On this agenda item, is there any public comment?
Mr. Chair, I have no public comment online.
Okay, thank you. My apologies there. So moving on to the next agenda item, any communications from the committee? From the members here? Is there any public comment on anything related to this audit committee's items?
Mr. Chair, I have no public comment online.
Okay. Any announcements or anything further for the good of the order, so to speak?
Commissioner Logan, I'll just keep you posted on when we get our audit letter, and we'll work with the city clerk's office to schedule an exit conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Don't you just get to whack the table with the?
He doesn't have the darn gal.
We can go
We
that
left it in the office.
route as well.
I move to adjourn.
And the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.